folks, and welcome to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle news, The Ben Show. I am your host, Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck. And as always, we love hearing from all of you, your comments, stories, ideas. Get a hold of us anytime. Call or text 305-900-2363. Again, that's 305-900-2363. Or you can always email bendradioshow@gmail.com. Ride along, as always, is my producer, sound engineer, and co-host, Jeff Tigger Erhardt. But first off, out the gate, I have a little PSA for everybody. If you have not done so, May 7th is the deadline. You now need a real ID to board, yes, your airlines here in the United States. To fly even domestically, you need to have a real ID. How do you know if you have a real ID? You look for that little gold star on your driver's license.
I have a little gold star.
You're good to
so
go.
I'm good to go.
But I'm bringing this up not just for folks like us. This is also good to make aware that your parents, your grandparents, those elderly, double check their ID. Yeah. I just did that with your dad there the other day because
thank you for doing that. Did you check mom?
She was not with, but I showed him what to look for on his driver's license to check your mom's. And the other reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's not just airlines. There's also places like with Homeland Security that deal with federal facilities, and say you're a veteran or something like that.
Which my dad is.
You need to make sure that you can still access those facilities with your real ID. Otherwise, you'll have to bring a passport with in order to enter some of the facilities.
Can we get the real ID after May 7th?
Yes.
You can.
Yes. And by the way, depending on where you are at, if you have not done so, there are a lot of bigger populated areas in the country where they're saying that, since COVID, typically with the DMV now, that's where you go, the DMV, to get your ID updated. There is a long list. I'm going to put this, a long waiting list to actually get an appointment to get that new ID. So don't be dragging your feet, especially if you got to fly sometime in the next 30 days.
I like what you said about the elderly because, we're going off a little topic of what we were going to talk about today as far as I know, but that my dad is so used. He's from the generation that you go and you visit the place, right? You go there in person and you take care of it. And now they have kiosks where some of this stuff can be taken care of. It's good maybe just to check in on your folks who are simply from a generation where they are used to face-to-face, and that is now going away. We're seeing menus that are all computerized, right, when you go and get fast food. So that's a really good idea. Check in with your folks on this stuff.
And now it's not just the elderly as well. Well, make sure you're double checking your IDs for your own children because, yourself, a lot of times we find ourselves
Did you check yours? I just checked mine. Did you check your ID so you're good to go?
I checked mine a long time ago, honey.
And I'm the
But
prepper.
I am bringing that up because also I'm finding out that there are a lot of youth that are being overlooked that may not have that star for the real ID on their driver's license either. So I'd hate for you to be a normal frequent flyer and you already have yours, and then all of a sudden you're doing a family vacation and here the kids, their IDs have not been updated to the real ID.
So
see where I'm going?
That's the point. Just check it.
And make sure
right now,
before you head to the DMV to go and update it, head to your DMV's local website address, look that up, and find out what documents you exactly need to take with you so you're prepared and you only got to make one trip, because I made a mistake when I did mine. I had to make 2 trips. I had forgotten some of the information I needed along with that. So,
well, look at you taking care of it.
There I am, taking care of all of you because I want you to hit the skies without any issues. All right. Now, these next stories up ahead have my wheels turning, especially when we've seen recent headlines this year in 2025, when it was not that long ago, they brought back the dire wolf from extinction.
The one that was extinct for 10,000 years, something like that?
Yes.
That totally puts a burr under my saddle.
I know.
It does, because we're spending money on trying to bring a wolf back that has been extinct for 10,000 years, and we're not focusing that on cancer research, curing cancer. Yeah, issues of today. Really? This is what we're spending our money on? And
then you look at that, they're already speculating other species such as the woolly mammoth. They're planning to have one of those back from the dead.
2027?
2028, they pushed it out a little bit there. But can you imagine something like a woolly mammoth roaming around? What kind of infrastructure you would have to build to even keep that housed in? We're talking about Jurassic Park at this point.
But how can you go and reintroduce an animal back into the environment when the environment has changed?
Exactly.
That's what I disagree with on all this so much.
I am right there with you. So listen to us as we go through some of these stories here that should have you kind of your sentence heightened in a way, because this topic, it hasn't just been when I bring up wolves. This has been a hot topic in states like Colorado, where they've introduced recently wolves, and there have been all kinds of uproars from the farm and ranch atmosphere. They're worried about livestock.
The egg community, not just Colorado, but we've received emails from producers in Oregon that reached out and said, this is what's happening, that wolves are decimating our livestock. Oregon, California, Washington, Colorado, Idaho, Utah, Wyoming. We've heard all of these cases, more and more and more, that all of a sudden these wolves are being introduced into environments where the environment has changed.
And that might have been why they left.
Maybe.
In the first place. I'm going to throw that out there. And so here, listen to this one. This one takes us to California.
There, right? I said California.
And it just was released, to the news earlier this last week. And that is how in California, there's actually a sheriff warning of escalating gray wolf threats to not just livestock, to people as well. Ranchers and residents in Sierra County, California say they're under siege. That's a strong word to use. They say they're under siege by gray wolves. According to the Sierra County Sheriff's Office, at least 18 confirmed wolf attacks on livestock and wild game have happened in the month of April alone. Multiple calves have been killed or severely injured, and wolves have been spotted near homes. Listen to this. One elk was chased onto a porch and killed just 50 yards from the house. I saw some images of this. Let me tell you, it was very graphic. And as an individual, I wouldn't want to see this happen this close to my house. I would have the hair on my arms raised and a little bit nervous too. The sheriff says these wolves are losing their fear of humans, raising serious concerns for public safety. Current efforts to scare the wolves away aren't working, and officials are calling for stronger action. State wildlife officials haven't yet confirmed these latest April attacks completely, but gray wolves remain protected. Also, it's good to note as an endangered species under both California and federal law. We're definitely going to stay up on this one, looking for updates as this story develops.
Well, what did I just say a little bit ago about introducing a species where the environment has changed?
Yes.
You can't bring them back to a certain area where now there's more livestock, there's more controlled grazing, there's different wildlife. That the whole thing is shit. Birds under my saddle.
And this wasn't just in California. Also, I just got wind of this in New Mexico. There's growing concern in Catron County, New Mexico, where officials have just declared a state of emergency there over the rising number of Mexican wolves attacking livestock and pets. County commissioners voted unanimously to ask the governor for help, saying the situation is no longer tolerable for rural families, ranchers, and even school children. One commissioner described wolves killing dogs on porches and a recent calf attack just 200 yards from someone's front door. Deputies have even been posted at schools so kids can safely play outside. How crazy is that? These are not isolated events either. They figure over 100 calves and 20 to 30 cows are killed every year on just one ranch alone, not to mention family pets and even prized horses. The wolves, federally protected, as I mentioned earlier, and nearly impossible to defend against, are losing fear of humans. They're not scared of us anymore. One was reported standing just 10 feet from a man's front door, and another came within 2 feet of a driver who stopped on the roadside. Local ranchers say it's not just about economics. Though the losses are steep, but they're also an emotional toll. And I think any of us that have ever raised livestock or had pets, you're right. There's an emotional side to losing these animals, especially on young people raising and riding livestock. One teenager recently lost her $15,000 barrel racing horse.
Which
Her
is a
best
cheap
friend-
horse in the barrel racing world, by the way.
And you can imagine that horse was probably that girl's best friend,
Absolutely.
and she lost it to wolves. Even with reimbursement programs in place, many ranchers are struggling to prove wolf kills and get timely compensation. Non-lethal deterrents like guard dogs and hazing often fail. Ranchers say they're not asking to wipe out wolves, but they need common sense predator management, the ability to protect their property, livestock, and families without fear of legal trouble. I can't blame them for asking for that. Officials are hoping the state will now step in with funding for range riders and better wolf control tools so people living and working on the land can feel safe again. This is just an added, like I said, we're just talking about how some of these animals, should they really be relocated and brought back to areas that they no longer have been inhabiting?
So I know we need to land the plane here. Can you throw out the email and the contact information again? So if people share your thoughts on this, if
I
you
wanna
got
hear your
ideas of
thoughts.
what need to be done, get a hold of us. So go ahead, share our contact information
Yes.
if you would.
Again, call or text 305-900-2363. Again, that's 305-900-2363. Or you can always drop us an email to share your story. Email us at bendradioshow@gmail.com. All right, we're going to take a short break. You're listening to The Bend Radio Show. You've waited, dreamt of a hunting adventure, and now have harvested that trophy of a lifetime. Keep the memory alive with a custom-designed mount, preserved as a work of art. Check out our approved taxidermist depending on your location. The award-winning Schneider Taxidermy is located in Helena, Montana. When hunting the Dakotas, JB's Wildlife Designs in Mandan, North Dakota. Then Shadron Creek Taxidermy in Nebraska. And for the Central USA, Little Rack Taxidermy in Macomb, Illinois. Reach out to The Ben Show and let us help you find the right taxidermist.
I'm just sitting out here watching airplanes
Country music's Gary Allen.
take off.
Live in concert Thursday, May 15th at the world-famous Miles City Bucking Horse Sale in Miles City, Montana. One of country music's hottest performers with special guest Tiger Lily Gold. Tickets on sale now at buckinghorsesale.com. Gary Allen with special guest Tiger Lily Gold at the world-famous Miles City Bucking Horse Sale in Miles City, Montana.
Hey guys and gals, this is John Arman with Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV. Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV travels the back roads to the backwaters in pursuit of the ultimate adventure in hunting and fishing. Join Team UOA every week for exciting action in the crosshairs of the outdoors. Catch Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV on YouTube, Amazon Prime, and make sure to follow Team UOA on Facebook and Instagram to share in the ultimate outdoor adventure.
Welcome back to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle, The Ben Show. I am your host, Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck, riding like shotgun. My co-host, Jeff Tigger Erhardt. Now, I'm going to throw this at you. As always, we're sharing our life with you. And what did we just do? We ourselves checked out, took a little time, and did a last-minute trip. We had looked at some cowboy hats. We went and ordered some custom hats, and we actually went through Greeley Hat Works out of Greeley, Colorado. This isn't our first time around. We're really been happy with the work that Trent does. If you've heard of Greeley Hat Works, you might be familiar with them. They were actually the guys that fit Cole Hauser, a.k.a. Rip, on Yellowstone with his hats.
And now they can say they're the ones that did hats for Tigger and Beck.
Exactly.
I've dealt with Trent for several years, and he's a fantastic guy. He's made several hats for me, and you finally got a custom felt hat. You have never had a custom one before.
I know.
And now you've got one.
I'm kind of digging it.
It
Look
fits
at
perfect to your head.
Head to thebenshow.com. I'll include a picture of myself wearing my new hat.
Love it.
But then on the way back, which was a little different for Tiggers, we usually are very scheduled individuals, and we decided to throw the plans to the wind. And we decided on our way home to go through the Black Hills and really enjoy them and kind of not have a plan, just meander through the Black Hills.
Because it's normally business that we're traveling, right? And we try to have fun on business too, but this was literally a last-minute trip that we could schedule before rodeo season and branding season and haying season and blah, 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 that we could get this in. This was game-changing. Absolute. Can I tell a story?
Yes.
Here's what we did. We stayed in Rapid City, but then we're right there. What do you think of with the Black Hills? What's the monument?
Mount Rushmore.
There you go. When was the last time you were at Mount Rushmore?
I was somewhere in my 20s.
And I was a wee one. I mean, I was a small wee. I mean, I don't even remember the last time I was there. And that Saturday morning, you said, can we go over there? And I said, absolutely.
Can we drive through Keystone,
Absolutely.
Hill City?
It's right there. So we went over, and this was game-changing, taking a little mini vacation during the off-season. Because let me tell you, there was absolutely no traffic. We drove right in. We did not have to stop at the gate. We paid our little entrance fee of $10.
By the way, in case you didn't know, Mount Rushmore is free to go and see. You just have to pay a $10 parking fee.
Yeah, and it's free for the next 365 days.
Yeah, that's it.
$10 per vehicle. We literally found a parking spot in the parking garage, which was right by the entrance, by the stairs, right there.
What I love the most about it is that going up to the monuments, because I can remember going always in the summer as a kid, even like I said, in my 20s, packed solid with people.
You can't get up to the very, very, very front.
Cool photo of yourself with the monument in the background.
A selfie.
There were hardly any people there. It was wonderful.
There was nobody there. I don't know, 50 people, 100 people?
Yeah.
If even that.
It was great. And yet still the museum was open. We were able to quickly go through that at our own
Watch
pace.
the video of how they made it and all that kind of stuff.
But that's what we're saying is it's okay to sometimes throw the plans out the window and just go and take in some of these other, I call them sometimes in our own backyard, because from where we live, Mount Rushmore is roughly 4.5, 5 hours. So it's really not that far.
Not too bad. But here's the other thing is consider now to do them during the off season. And this was game changing. You and I, we talked about this the whole time back. We were already planning for the fall, not the summer. We wanted to get away from the tourist season because I'm full-blood German, and you can about imagine if I'm backed up in thousands of cars and it's 95 degrees and I'm waiting to get to a monument that I can't even get up to and see in the first place, right?
You do not want to be stuck with Tigger.
No. I get kind of crotchety.
Yeah.
So we did this during the off season, and this was amazing. We drove the back roads through the Black Hills. We slowly meandered our way up to Lead and to Deadwood. There was very few people in Deadwood compared to other times that we've been there during the tourist season, that it was literally shoulder to shoulder.
I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes to seeing national monuments, even national parks, I've sat there in lines at Yellowstone. That's ridiculous. You know, I got thinking about this. We got to go about this a little bit smarter. I understand with families, it's hard to schedule.
Right, with school and stuff. Yeah.
But if you don't have to work around the kids and all of that, I highly recommend going well before Memorial Weekend and then waiting until a couple weekends after Labor Day weekend when it starts to slow down.
Absolutely.
You'll also get some great deals. We ended up with incredible deals at a lot of these tourist shops because they're waiting for their new inventory to come in. They want to roll out, Memorial Weekend.
Beck got clothes.
I got clothes for 50% off, all right? And then we found out, talking with these owners, they said, make sure you come back in the fall. We'll have some great deals then, too.
And you literally beat the traffic.
Yes.
You beat all of the people, and if you just kind of want to take things a little slower, that's the takeaway from this is consider checking out, maybe with your spouse, maybe with a family, maybe it's just for a weekend, maybe for an evening or a day, but consider doing it during the off season, not necessarily the tourist season.
Thank you.
If the location is open that you want to go to, that consider too.
I'm going to leave it at that. Tigger, you summed it up perfectly. We're going to take a short break. You're listening to The Ben Show.
The hunt, the stories, the memories. This is Jake Fenrick with JB's Wildlife Designs. Let me capture and preserve that hunt, that story, that memory with a trophy mount to last you a lifetime. Look us up on Facebook at JB's Wildlife Designs to see samples of our taxidermy, and reach out at any time with any and all questions you may have. This is Jake Fenrick with JB's Wildlife Designs. Taxidermy is my passion. Let me preserve yours.
You asked for it, you got it. Watch the Cowboy Channel anytime, anywhere with the Cowboy Channel Plus. Live stream the Cowboy Channel or watch your favorite PRCA rodeos on demand. Classic PRCA rodeos added weekly. Get the Cowboy Channel Plus for only $9.99 a month or save 25% by signing up for a full year. Visit cowboychannelplus.com to sign up and start streaming today.
Get ready for the Western experience of a lifetime. The world-famous Miles City Buck and Horse Sale is back and better than ever. Join us May 15th through the 18th in Miles City, Montana. From the finest bucking stock to electrifying horse racing, this event has it all. Don't miss out on the Pendleton Whiskey Kickoff Concert featuring Gary Allen and special guests Tiger Lily Gold. Mark your calendars and saddle up for the world-famous Miles City Buck and Horse Sale, where the spirit of the West comes alive. Get your tickets at buckinghorsesale.com.
Welcome back to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle, The Ben Show. I'm your host, Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck. My co-host here is Jeff Tigger Erhardt. Got a quick reminder of all of you when you flip to the calendar to May. What happens in May? Mother's Day. The countdown
That's
is on.
in a week.
It's not that
That's
far
in a
away.
week.
So I just wanted to remind you all. And little heads up tip, when I visit with my other friends that are moms, they don't need anything really special. They just want to feel like they're appreciated. So if you would just take the time to take them out for brunch, maybe take them fishing. Don't forget that you pack the cooler, mom doesn't. But really, just go have fun and make sure you do something with her. That way you'll have a memory with mom. Save money, save time. How does that sound? I think right now we're all trying to save as much money as we can. And I'm telling you right now in the month of May, what kicks off at the end of the month? Memorial weekend. But what else kicks off? Grilling season. So typically right now until the end of the month, you're going to be seeing some great deals. Typically, I'm telling you, when it comes to buying your grilling items, we're talking about pork chops to steaks to
Oh, you're
ribs.
talking about even the food itself,
I'm talking
not
about
the gear, the
I'm
food.
talking about the food right now, because right now all of us are constantly looking at our grocery bills. And here's what I did the other day. I ran over to one of the major retailers and I bought way more pork chops than I probably would usually buy, right? But the price was unbelievable. So what did I do? I bought them, brought them home, but while they were still unthawed, think about how easy this was. I simply took them out of the package, divided them up between the different freezer bags I wanted to use, and then on top of it, I threw in the marinade I would like on said pork chops. It kind of, mooshed it around so they're well coated, and then freezed them. You know what? I've got meals now for at least 2 to 3 meals at home here if it's just Tigger and I, or even if we had some company or we went camping. We're ready to go. We got our pork chops ready.
We ain't
Then-
sharing our pork chops with somebody else when we go camping. What are you talking about?
Well, then not just thinking about that. Who doesn't like barbecued ribs, right? We all like barbecued ribs, but a lot of times those slabs of ribs are huge. That's okay. Buy these big slabs that are on sale, take them home, and cut them up to the size proportion that would fit what party or how many people you would typically be feeding, then refreeze them. Save that money. It doesn't take much time at all to go and cut this stuff up, repackage it, and what you're doing is setting yourself up for success this summer. And when you go to pack that cooler for Memorial Day or 4th of July or heading to the cabin, you're not overthinking, what am I going to cook? What am I going to bring? You're just going to grab those items out of the freezer. They're frozen. They get to work for you as ice packs, and they take up hardly any room of garbage when you're done with it. I'm telling you, I'm just trying to help you out. Take advantage of the sales that are going on so you can enjoy all that amazing food all summer long.
And check out your local butcher shop.
Yes.
Because we had no idea of all of the different sales that some of the local butcher shops have.
Bacon. We've been picking up bacon
Yes,
and saving a
especially
lot of coin.
bacon. Yeah, and you can get different flavors of stuff or, if it's marinated, this, that, and the other. But The case is check out the meat case. See how I did that? At your local butcher shop, because you might be able to find some major sales.
And if you're buying from the butcher shops, by the way, they'll cut it up for you the way you want it. Just a little secret tip.
Then the other one is shop local. There might be a local producer in your area, a farmer or rancher that maybe has an ad on Facebook Marketplace that might have some beef for sale. So there's another avenue to be able to get some protein in the cooler.
The end of the day, I keep thinking about the summer ahead. We don't want to spend lots of time in the kitchen, but we want to be ready to go. So that's all I'm trying to do is plant that seed. So you start doing your food prep now so you are ready for camping season.
As you said, save time. And the part that I like, save money. And I get my pork chops.
Folks, we're going to call this show wrapped for this week. Remember, you can keep sending in your questions. Anything spa-worthy you need to share with us. Remember, we want to hear your thoughts about the reintroduction of wolves into certain areas. We just want to hear what you have to say about all of that, too. Call us, text us, 305-900-2363. Again, 305-900-2363. Or you can always email bendradioshow@gmail.com. And if you missed part of this episode or want to hear past shows, you can find them all on our website, thebendshow.com. And be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting app and to The Ben Show YouTube channel. Finally, a big thanks to all of you listeners out there that came along. Plus, I want to give a shout out to Greeley Hat Works in Greeley, Colorado. Check them guys out. Special thank you to Lindsay. She took care of us there. And whether you're coming or going, stay with us today as we ranch it up. And remember to keep up with me, Beck, all week long by following The Bend on Facebook and on Instagram at The Bend Show. This is Rebecca Wanner. Catch Beck if you can next week on The Bend.